Good morning and welcome to Vic and Vern Sports Show. My name is Vic and welcome to the Sports Update Show. Here you go, the best of the last 24 hours. And what are 24 hours we've had on this? Well, from Tuesday to this Wednesday, the 11th of February, 2026. The Olympics are in full force. The Premier League was on last night and NBA, NCAA, cricket, of course, the T20. Lots to get into this morning. Let's get it. So I'm not going to waste any time because there's a shitload to get through. There you go. First of all, that's the topics. You saw them on top there. Don't forget, that's our email at the bottom of the screen if you do want to contact us or anything. And remember to, let me just hit that. Hit that. There you go. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. We're on our way to 137,000. Can we get to 140 by the end of March? That would be really nice. There you go. So let's start in the football. There you go. We'll start with the football. In the Scottish Premierships. What a win for Hearts of Midlothian against Hibs. That is the Edinburgh Derby. Big goal there in the 88th minute from Magnuson. Keeps Hearts on top of the Premier League there in Scotland. And we're all rooting for Hearts this season. We are all rooting for Hearts. We want something different in Scotland. It's got boring over the last 3,000 years. It's always been Celtics and Rangers. Then in the German Cup, or known as the DFB Pokal, good morning, Isa. Good morning. Freiburg knocked out Hertha Berlin on penalties. That was 1-1. And then in penalties, Freiburg won 5-4. And Naples got knocked out by Como in the Italian Cup, also on penalties there. That was 7-6 on penalties at the end. That was the European side of things. Then, good morning, Ronnie. Then in the Premier League, Chelsea drew to Leeds 2-2. Everton lost to Bournemouth. Ooh. Then, I haven't heard anything yet, but I think, Thomas Frank, this song is just for you. Sacked in the morning. You're getting sacked this morning. Sacked in the morning. I think Thomas Frank is going to get sacked by Spurs this morning. They lost 2-1 to Newcastle. That was the sack Classico, because I thought whoever lost that game was going to get sacked. And then a good draw for Manchester United against West Ham. In the last seconds of the game, we managed to draw that. So Michael Carrick still unbeaten. I saw somebody wrote that in the chat this morning. Then later today, Aston Villa take on Brighton. Ooh, big game there. Palace, Burnley, Man City against Fulham. Can they close the gap to Arsenal to 3 points? Forest against Wolverhampton. I think that's another sack classic game there. I think if Sean Dyche or Forest lose this one, he's going to get the sack. And Sunderland against Liverpool. Could Arne Slot get the sack if he loses to Sunderland? It's unbelievable. And then, of course, tomorrow it will be Brentford against Arsenal. So have a look at the table after those 4 games from yesterday. Manchester United still in 4th, Chelsea still in 5th, but the gap to Liverpool is now 6 points, so Liverpool desperately need a win. So we're rooting for Sunderland this evening. There you go. Then we move over to the Olympics. Let's quickly, so we'll just change the whole screen because don't copy everything over. There you go. The Olympic Games. I'm still here, baby. It's all gone red, huh? Magic, baby. Call me David Copperfield, man. There you go. So look, I'm just going to go through the results quickly there. We had the mixed relay in the short track. Italy got the gold ahead of Canada and Belgium. Listen, if you want a comprehensive recap of the day 4, go check out our day 4 video, man. Then the combined, Austria won the combined skiing there. Katharina Huber and Adriana Radler ahead of Germany and the US of A. Disappointing day there for Michaela Schifrin and Breezy Johnson. Cross country, the sprint, it was an all Swedish affair. Sweden 1, 2, 3, and the winner was Lynn Svan. She got the gold medal. Congratulations. What domination by the girls there from Sweden. Cross-country men, well, am I telling you anything you didn't know? If you know a little bit about cross-country men, you knew Johannes Hertztorp Kleber was going to win this for Norway. Good result there for Ben Ogden of the US with the silver, and Oscar Vick with a bronze medal there. Freestyle skiing, men's slopestyle. Another Norwegian, Berk Ruud, ahead of Alex Hall of the USA, and Luca Harrington of New Zealand. Hey, the Kiwis getting something going there. Then it was biathlon, one of my favorite sports, the 20-kilometer men's individual, and Johan Olaf Botten of Norway. Norway, big medals haul yesterday, ahead of Eric Perrault of France, and Sturm Holmes Lagreit of Norway. What else did we have yesterday? Curling. Sweden have won the mixed competition ahead of the United States and Italy. That was the Isabel and Rasmus Vrana of Sweden. The couple there, they won the mixed curling. In the luge, well, that was Julia Taublitz ahead of Elena Botta and Ashley Farquizaron of the United States. One more, not last but not least, the ski jumping. Slovenia won the mixed ski jumping ahead of Norway and Japan. So congratulations to the Slovenians. There we go. What is coming up today? Let me put it out there quickly so that you know what's coming up. These are all the medals that are going to happen today. Alpine skiing, of course, men's Super G. Let's hope the Swiss can do it again. Nordic combined is up today. Biathlon, the 15-kilometer women's freestyle skiing, women's moguls. I'm going to watch that one. Speed skating, luge, figure skating, more luge, men and women. So that's all happening. That is all happening. So let's go back to the main screen to tell you what else. What are we bringing up? So this will be our first live stream of the day. That'll be at 11:25 this morning. Men's giant slalom. Hopschwitz, Hopschwitz. There you go. That's all I've got to say. Then afterwards, we will bring in the women's biathlon 15 kilometers. Those will both be done by me. And then later in the early evening there at 18:25 Central European time, Vern is doing the men's 1,000 meter speed skating. That's going to be phenomenal. So join him for that. Staying with the Olympics, the grunge match par excellence. It's when Team USA meets Team Canada in hockey, especially on the women's side. And there was historical yesterday because, put it out there, Team USA, baby, they thrashed Canada. Canada, what's wrong, eh? That's the biggest loss the Canadians, I think, has ever had. They got thrashed 5-0. They got shut out. These two teams will meet in the final again, I believe. And USA, you haven't won the gold yet because I think those Canadian ladies are going to be piling on maple syrup on top of their pancakes. They're going to be building up some energy and they're going to try to bounce back. But it's looking good for the US women's ice hockey team at the Olympics. And then don't forget, tomorrow we're going to have the EuroLeague basketball. Vern's going to do that. What a game coming up. The Olympiacos Piraeus against Red Star Belgrade. I will be doing the Darts Premier League tomorrow night, so check that out. What else? Don't forget, later this afternoon at 5 o'clock Central European time, Super Rugby Pacifica update, preview from us on the DEFCON Rugby Show. We'll try to see who we think is going to win it this year, so join us for that. Then there were some games in the NBA, and I hope that last one is finished. Let's have a look. It is, so let me put the score in there for you guys quickly. Lakers, Spurs, Lakers. Good stuff there. That just finished about a minute ago. So put that in there. Let me just make sure I got that all on the screen. Yeah, there you go. So the Pacers beat the Knicks in overtime, 137-134. Jalen Brunson had 40 points, but it wasn't enough for the Knicks. Nebhard had 24 points and 10 assists for a winning Pacers team. Pacers haven't won a lot of games this year. Then the Rockets beating the Clippers. That was a big battle in the West. They won at 295. The main man there for the Rockets was Sengun with 22 points and 7 rebounds. The Suns are doing really nice for themselves this season. They beat the Mavericks 120-111. And the Spurs thrashed the Lakers 136-108. Victor Wembanyama, what a beautiful first name. Victor Wembanyama, 40 points and 12 rebounds. Look, if I was a Los Angeles Lakers fan and I traveled to that crypto.com arena, I'd be pissed out of my mind. I would be pissed. The Lakers basically rested all their starters. I mean, No Luka, no LeBron, no Austin Reeves, and you're paying like $200 a ticket. Come on, man. NBA, you can't do that to the fans. You cannot do that to the fans. These players with all their rest, Michael Jordan never fucking rested, man. So don't come to me and talk about the GOAT. Who's the GOAT? You can't be the GOAT if you need rest. I'm sorry. And if you're too old to play, then don't play anymore. It just gets me ranting and raving already in the morning. Gets my blood boiling. Let's have a look what is out there in the West, because we didn't do the tables yesterday of the NBA. Oklahoma out in front ahead of the Spurs only by 4 points, by 4 games, and it doesn't count the win that the Spurs had tonight. So the Spurs are only 3 games behind the Oklahoma City Thunder at the moment. Houston Rockets nicely then in third, followed by the Nuggets. I think the Lakers are going to drop down at least to 7th or 8th by the end of the regular season. Look, like I said, Memphis, maybe, but I doubt. I kind of believe that's the way it's going to end now. Memphis, Dallas, Utah, the Pelicans, and the Sacramento Kings are not making the playoffs. Let's see who's the beast in the East, and it is the bad boy Pistons, baby. Ahead of the Boston Celtics, New York Knicks, Cavaliers, Toronto's, and 76ers. Look, Milwaukee might, Chicago and Charlotte and Atlanta are fighting out. Out of two of them will make and one won't. Don't think Milwaukee get into the playoffs unless Giannis comes back very, very soon. Then there were some NCAA women results there. The Texas Tech Lady Raiders, they beat the Kansas Jayhawks 70-65. Congratulations to the Texas Raiders. And on the men's side, there was a lot more games. Purdue beat Nebraska 80-77. North Carolina lost to Miami, to the Hurricanes 75-66. What's going on in North Carolina? Virginia beat Florida State 61-58. Vanderbilt beat Auburn 84-76. BYU beat Baylor 99-94. Boys, where was the defense in that one, man? And then on the second page, Wisconsin took care of Illinois 92-90. Houston beat Utah 66-52. The Blue Devils of Duke beat Pittsburgh 70-54. Iowa State lost to TCU 62-55. And Arkansas beat Louisiana. The Razorbacks beating the Tigers there 91-62. There you go. Then we move on. Hey, we've got to talk about that T20 cricket that is hotting up. Good news. On Saturday, they are doing that game that is taking place. The Pakistani government. You see, that's when I start to fucking feel nauseated. The Pakistani government has allowed the players to play against India. You should just ban them. When governments get involved, then sports goes fucking downhill fast, man. So let's have a look at the results from yesterday. Pakistan did beat the USA by 32 runs. Good result there for Pakistan. New Zealand beat the United Arab Emirates. Man, what's wrong with me this morning? They won by 10 wickets there in New Zealand. Fantastic. And because none of their batsmen got bowled out by the Emirates. And then, last but not least, Namibia lost to the Netherlands by 7 wickets. Good result there for the Netherlands. Fixtures coming up. Let's have a look. Before we go to the fixtures, let's get to the tables. So Pakistan, two games, 2 wins. They're leading that group there ahead of India and the Netherlands. In Group B, you got Zimbabwe on top ahead of Sri Lanka. A lot of those games, they'll be playing those games, more games. Australia hasn't even had a game yet, so let's have a look what happens there. Then West Indies on top of Group C ahead of Scotland and England. West Indies and England, I think they play today. Then New Zealand on top of the group there in D. Group D played 1-2 ahead of South Africa that are also unbeaten at the moment. South Africa and Afghanistan face off. Let's have a look there. When I hear the word Afghanistan, I always think of the movie Lethal Weapon. I think it was 4, where what's the actor's name? Chris Rock and Joe Pesci are having like this rant, and he's like, I didn't phone to Afghanistan. I love that. There you go. So South Africa, Afghanistan, that starts at 6:30. Then Australia against Ireland, and England take on the West Indies. That's going to be interesting. That's in Mumbai. The Australia game is in Sri Lanka, in Colombo, and South Africa get to play in the big stadium in the, what's the president's name? Surendra Modi Stadium there in Ahmedabad. There, I know Ahmedabad well. There you go. So that is coming up in the T20. That is the sports for this morning. 15 minutes and I got through all that. I'm freaking fantastic, aren't I? Can't wait for the skiing. I need some Swiss flags out today, but join me for that. 11:25, I will be going live for the skiing, so please join me for that. Guys, have a great day. See you guys later. Don't forget, hit the notification button, then you know exactly what's coming up. Have a great one. Ciao, ciao, guys.